According to Albert Einstein, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. When we think about how much the world has changed around us due to digitalization, it isn't how much technology we use, but more importantly, it's how we adapt and leverage it to create a better world. Hi, I'm Keith Connell, and welcome to the Digital Revolution podcast. When faced with the decision of how to best position your organization online to be found and influenced, the two most obvious choices are organic and paid search strategies. Now, I know I've already hit you with two terms that may or may not be clear to you, so for ease, I want to define them and talk about the biggest difference between the two. To begin, both terms are about marketing your online content, which can make all of the difference in the world to your goals. Alright, so now that I've got your interest piqued, let's start with organic search strategies. The biggest difference between the two types of strategies is the cost of the campaigns. When you execute an organic campaign, there's no direct costs associated with the execution of the strategy, which, if it works, naturally translates into phenomenal returns on your investment. Since you're going to want to put most of your important information directly on the website, the focus you want to promote is to get people there. After all, most conversions happen on the website rather than through social media. If you look at your site analytics, you're going to find the majority of the traffic generated to your site is organic, so the strategy makes perfect sense. The tools that you're going to want to use for the organic campaign are consistent effort of your keywords, coding strategies, and producing awesome content for your channels. Now, the caveat to relying on the organic strategy is that it takes time to build up the momentum, but once the search engines start to notice your site, their algorithms or mathematical systems set up to measure the relevance of your site to your target market will help float you higher in search results. Now, some other factors that you'll really want to consider are site load speed and the overall user experience. See, I told you, this isn't a quick fix, but the good news is there are a lot of benefits associated with organic search, like increased conversion as those landing on your site are looking for your solution, and it really does boost credibility in a very busy marketplace. Let's say you want to find a new t-shirt and you type what you're looking for in the search bar. You'll probably get about 100,000 results, but the first 6 to 10 results have that little icon beside them that says ad. If you're like most people, for whatever reason you'll scroll right past those entries because, well, they paid to get there. If your company appears once or several times in the next spots following the ads, you're going to increase the odds that a consumer will click on your link as the frequency is increased. Finally, another benefit to organic search strategies is that the level of data you receive from this is massive, and it can help you going forward with the next steps of your strategy. For example, because your visitors arriving from an organic search, you can better understand which page on your site is driving the most traffic, and with this data, you can help make more informed decisions on how to improve the online communications going forward. Now, on the other side of the coin is paid search strategies, and well, they're just as they sound. You pay for your site to appear on the search engine results pages that match your designated keywords. What this means is that as soon as you pay for your ads, they're going to start appearing typically between 24 to 72 hours. So you're now appearing in the ad section and people are starting to see your site a lot faster than through the organic search strategies, which can really be beneficial. Also, through the employment of paid search, you'll get very important information such as keywords searched by the visitor, their location, age, and a whole lot more. In short, it'll help you target who you're advertising to. This makes your investment a lot more targeted since the people that are searching your product and clicking your ads are actually looking to buy, and your conversion rate will be very high as well. So really, you're paying for immediate exposure on the top returns of a keyword, the additional data, and of course the higher conversion rate. Not bad when you consider that the price you pay is based on your bid for the placement, so really, you determine the cost of the campaign. I know it all sounds great, but the downside to this is the expense and the possibility that your audience may look past you in the results because you have that ad icon beside your company name. So this is a lot of information, so let me explain it in a different way. I was approached as a consultant by a company looking for advice on how to get more attention online. Being a new company, the idea of getting immediate online attention was essential because if you're not being found online, you aren't in business. What I recommended to the company was to invest heavily in their paid search strategies up front while they worked on building their organic strategy. This ensured the company would immediately be found online while their organic strategy was able to mature and they started appearing in the top 5 search pages. Then, during phase 2, the company was able to back off of their paid strategy somewhat so their advertising dollars could be freed and reallocated to other forms of promotion. As their climb continued, they relied less and less on the paid strategy until finally they were on the front of the search engine results pages. The idea of paid and organic strategies actually work best in tandem. The paid gets you immediate results while you're growing in the background, but pulling the paid plug too soon means that your front page ad disappears immediately and you're still not found. But if you're patient with the paid strategy, the organic strategy will help get you to the front page and provide sustained placement at little or no cost. If you find that your site starts to slip, boost it up with the paid strategy until you can modify the organic approach to get you back on top. That'll wrap up this episode. Thanks for listening in. To paraphrase Darwin, it's not the smartest or strongest of a species that will survive, but rather one that adapts and changes with the environment around it. I'm Keith Connell, the host of The Digital Revolution. Thanks for listening.